Shalom, shalom, shalom. Glory and praise on glorification to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, BARAK Yahawah, BARAK YAHAWASHI, call name la Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. And praise and honor glorification to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. In according to the Mars to the Apostle Millstone, the teacher will well. And the main topic of the lesson is Romans 11. Now, what does it mean? No, what does it mean? No? Or what's going into? No, because for the unlearned, they'll say, oh, it's talking about the heathen. No, we're talking about the Gentiles, the literal heathen Gentiles, But no, it's talking about Israelites. All of it's talking about Israelites. Because the first thing and foremost, the first thing you need to know is that during this time of the New Testament, the Jews, who are Israelites, who knew they're Israelites, and Israelites who didn't know they're Israelites. The Israelites who didn't know they're Israelites. So, fellas, get that. In the book of fellas, go to Second Maccabees. Okay, go more into it. Second Maccabees 6:6. Neither was lawful for a man, because this is during the time of Hellenization. Now, this whole period, even during the New Testament, during the time of Hellenization, which was basically the spreading of Greek culture, forced Greek culture anyway. Basically, what's the word? Assimilating the people into Greek culture. It started with Antiochus Epiphanes. Well, really Alexander. But going all the way down to Antiochus Epiphanes. Forcing everyone basically get in line with Greek culture, man. But reading this, 2 Maccabees 6:6, neither was it lawful for a man to keep the Sabbath days or ancient feasts or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So during this time, it wasn't lawful to you to even be a Jew, even be an Israelite. And you had Jakes back then who went along with it. You had Jakes back then who got with the Greeks and the Romans. Well, yeah, the Romans too, later on. But also the Greeks, and start calling themselves Greeks. Follow after their gods, their customs, and they taught their children that. And their children taught their children that, and so on. There wasn't a one-time thing. This is a historical event that happened. So obviously their children learned that they're Greeks, taught that they're Greeks, lived in the land of Greece, taught their children they're Greeks, that they're Greeks, and so on. And they may even start to look like Greeks, because they don't give them with their woman and shit like that. Next thing you know, you got Jake out there who looks exactly like a Greek. Acting like a Greek, who thinks he's a Greek, but really he's a Jake. Because that's the curses. Let's get that. Deuteronomy 28:64. A house shall scatter among all people, from one end of the earth even to the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, when neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. That's happened back then. Jake got scattered, they got serving all sorts of other gods, other idols, calling themselves by different names, and so on, man. And even before that too, with other captivities. You had Jake who got scattered out of the land of Israel, who never came back. And the children never came back. And their children never came back. And so on. But the main point is, they were calling themselves Gentiles. They were calling themselves by other nations. And the word Gentile just means nation. Might I add. The word Gentile just means nation. So let's go over here now. 1 Corinthians 12:2. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away into these dumb idols, even as ye were led. So they were carried away into the dumb idols. They carried away to other gods, other idols, and called themselves Gentiles. That's why they said ye were Gentiles. When the Lord reconciled you back, man. Ephesians 2:11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh. So you will call yourself Gentiles, call yourself heathen, who called who are called uncircumcision by that which is called a circumcision in the flesh made by hands, because only they are literally uncircumcised. No, they're in the ways of the heathen, they're eating unclean foods, all that shit. That at the time ye were without Mashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel. No, because you were without the land, outside the land, no, and strangers from the covenants of the promise, because only you weren't there with the promise. You didn't know about the promise. You're strangers to it. You didn't know about it. No, having no hope and without Yahweh in the world, but now in the Mashiach Yahawashi, ye who were sometimes were far off, are made nigh by the blood of the Mashiach. No, look, keep going. For he is our peace, who have made both one and have broken down the middle wall of partition between us. So, Lord carved a divide between us, having abolished in his flesh the admission, even the law of commandments contained in ordinances, for to make himself of twine one new man, so making peace. No? So the Lord was against us, because only we broke the commandments. But the Lord brought it back. Now, who was the commandments given to? Now, who was the commandments, the law said the commandments given to? They're given to Israel. Let's go to, let me get this one. Psalms 147. And keep in mind, the Lord don't change as well. So the Lord not got to swap up his people. He only has one people. He only will ever have one people. One people. One people. So Psalm 147:19. He shewed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and judgments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they had not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. But the main point is, the Lord declared his judgments, his statutes, and his covenant unto Israel. The Lord did not deal with the heathen. The Lord did not deal with the Edomites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Ishmaelites, the Hamites, the Japhites, no other nations. The Syrians, the Syrians, no other nation. The Lord only dealt with the nation of Israel. No? So so that's who the Lord is redeeming, and that's what this whole thing's about. Now let's actually go into Romans 11 now, since I got the prelude out the way. I'm only going to hit the key points in this. No. So Romans 11:1, I say then, have Yahweh cast away his people? Yahweh forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. So the Lord did not cast away his people, even though they're blinded. No? No, verse 7, what then? Israel not attained that which he seeketh for, but the election have attained it, and the rest are blindness. So only the elect are going to get it. No? Skipping down to verse 11. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? Yahweh forbid. No, so only the rest of Israel, they fell. No? No, the Israelites who knew they're Israelites, they fell. No? Because during that time, Yahweh would preach it to the Israelites who knew they're Israelites in the land of Israel. No? Yahweh forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation coming to the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. So that's talking about the Israelite foreigners. No, because it's he's quoting the book of Deuteronomy 32. We're talking about a foolish nation, a foolish people. Who is that foolish nation and people? Jake. Jake's a foolish. The reason why they're foolish because they were given the law, statutes, commandments, but they refused to keep it. That's why the Gentiles, or really us, were called foolish. Because we were given the law, statutes, commandments, but we didn't keep it. No, we didn't even know about it. No, the heathen are in their natural state. No, they're meant to be wicked because the Lord did not give them the laws or the covenant. No, so they're meant to be foolish. No, they really at the end of the day, they're acting wise. No, in their own. I guess you could say they're acting wise in their own place. No, because that's what they're meant to be. No, they're meant to be heathen. They're meant to be. No, they're meant to be. No, unclean, wicked. Jake's not supposed to be like that. So that's why they're called foolish. I'd rather get that real quick. So that's why Jake is called a foolish people, man. Because only they were given the law, statutes, and commandments, but Jake did not do it. So that's why they're called foolish. Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are side children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. No, so they're supposed to be doing good, but they don't do good. No? So they are foolish people, man. So what I'm talking about in Deuteronomy 32, I'm just quoting it. The Lord God provoked them to jealousy with the foolish people. That's talking about Jake, man. Because Jake is supposed to keep the law, statutes, commandments. But Jake's supposed to be righteous. No, but Jake's wicked, man. Verse 12. Now, if they fall, now the fall of them be the riches of the world. Now, the word there for world, the word cosmos, meaning a particular group or arrangement. The Lord said He didn't pray for the world. That John 17:9. And the diminishing of them, the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness? No? For I speak to you Gentiles, inasmuch as I am the apostle of the Gentiles, I magnify my office. No? So through the fall of the Jakes, who knew this, like for instance, the wicked scribes and Pharisees, them and all their lot, those were those who fell away. Those were those who stumbled. No? No, those Jakes are the ones who stumbled. No? But through their fall, it brought in the other Israelites outside the land, in the heathen lands, calling themselves Greeks, calling themselves Romans. No, because the Lord only made a covenant with them. No, so the Lord just bring them back. Reconciliation. That's Romans 8. Romans 5. Romans 5 and 8. Reconciliation, man. You bring them back because only the Lord made a covenant with them. And the Lord's calling them back. No? If by any means I may provoke you to emulation, them which are my flesh, and might save some of them. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but life from the dead? No, but the main point is they're getting reconciled. No, the world was not included from the beginning. Get that. The Lord did not include the world when He made the covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And you want to go further back? No, it goes back to the Adamites, which is another topic. No, but the Adamites, which were a group of people, because Adam was not the first person ever made. Man was made on the 5th day. No, a certain group of men was chosen on the 6th day. No, Adam was made leader of the Adamites that were called, according to Genesis 5, they're called the Adamites. And Adam was chosen, in Genesis 2, in the Garden of Eden, which is really Jerusalem. No, that's a whole other thing. But, you want to go all the way back then, that's how it went. Because the Lord didn't just make one person. No. There were much rather multiple people, man. Well, who you think Cain's wife was? Or Seth's wife was? Now, and their wives. Now, because the Lord didn't make them do incest. And the Lord didn't even talk about their sisters. Well, there was sisters, but, obviously the Lord didn't make them do incest in order to reproduce. That's wicked as hell. No? That's foul and wicked, man. No, and the first people do incest. The Lord's against incest. Well, incest between your sister and your mom or whatever. The Lord's against that kind of incest, because you can sleep with your cousin and your niece. But regardless, the Lord's against you having sex with your sister and shit. So the Lord not gonna set up the word on wickedness and make man goddamn sleep with a goddamn sister in order to reproduce. No, man. The Lord had multiple people back then during that time. All right. But anyway, get this. 2 Samuel 7. Verse 23. And what one nation in the earth is like that people, even like Israel, whom Yahawah went to redeem for a people to Himself, and to make a name, and to do for you great things and terrible for thy land, before thy people, which shall redeem us to thee from the nations and their gods. The Lord selected the nation Israel for Himself. For thou hast confirmed to thyself thy people Israel to be a people unto thee forever. And thou, Yahawah, are become their power. So the Lord our power, and the Lord's our God. No? Lord chose us among all nations of the world to himself. And again, the Lord don't change. The Lord not going to add to his people. The Lord only has one people. And that's the nation of Israel. And you can't add, in order to be an Israelite, you had to be born an Israelite from the Father. That's the only way to be an Israelite. The only way to be part of a tribe. That's by your father. And not by your mother. And the mother not included, and the mother never included. That's why YAHAWASHI had a father. The name was Joseph, of the tribe, of the seed of David. No? The word virgin means a woman of marriageable age. No? No, so only that's how you know. So for the reconciliation of Jacob. So Romans 11:16, for if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches. If some of the branches be broken off, and thou being a wild olive tree were grafted in amongst them, and with them partakest of the root and fattens of the oil of the olive tree, both not against the branches, but thou boast, thou bearest not the root, but the root thee. No, so the root took you in, which is YAHAWASHI. Now, the main point is, you're grafted in among the righteous seed, being brought back to who you were. Because really, the wicked olive tree were, again, Jake's, who went off, following other gods, other idols, but now you're brought back to YAHAWASHI. Reconciliation. See how it's all linked together, man? Real smooth with it. No? No, not that complex, not that deep. You don't need a goddamn commentary with a whole bunch of words. And no, it's all you need is scriptures, man. All you need is the spirit of Yahawah Yahushua. No? Thou will say then the branches were broken off, that might be grafted in. Yeah, so Jake fell off. No, who knew the Israelites, or you can come in. But because of unbelief, they were broken off. And thou standest by faith, being not high-minded, but fear. So you're coming in through faith, because, again, they grew up in the customs of the heathen, and all sorts of wickedness. Can't keep the laws like that. So they're coming in through faith. For if Yahweh spare not their natural branches, so the Lord didn't spare those who grew up in the customs, take heed lest he also spare not thee. So the Lord can destroy your ass, if he wants to. Behold, therefore, the goodness and severity of Yahweh on them which fell, severity, but towards thee goodness. If thou continue in his goodness, otherwise thou also shalt be cut off. So if you want to get proud and haughty, the Lord can cut you off too. Go down. Keep going. And they also, if they abide not still in unbelief, shall be grafted in, for Yahweh is able to graft them in again. So the Lord is able to bring back the people who didn't believe at first, like Apostle Paul. He didn't believe at first, but the Lord brought him in. For thou were cut off the olive tree, which is wild by nature, and were grafted the contrary to nature into a good olive tree. So if you were brought into the righteousness, the fold, and left off the wicked ways, how much more shall these, which be the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree? So the Lord can bring them back in. They fell off, and they can repent. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits. The blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. So only to all the other Israelites come in. The reason why it says Israel right there, because again, there's Israelites who knew they're Israelites. Because during this time, they were the ones who called themselves Israelites. Now, the Israelite foreigners who didn't know they're Israelites didn't call themselves Israelites. They called themselves Greeks, Romans, or whatever other nation they were at. So those will be considered the Gentiles or the nations. And so all Israel shall be saved. So this is all Israel. As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. This is my covenant unto them, when I shall take away their sins. And who the Lord make a covenant with? Israel. There's a new covenant, where the Lord made the house of Jacob and the house of Israel. And the Lord not going to add to his people, man. No? Supersessionism and shit. No, the Lord just bring them back, man. Reconciliation. It was this whole thing about, man. Bologna F5, that's basically my point. Quote again, our praises on glorification. YAHAWASHI, Shabbat, Shemar QADASH, and Shalom.